Good morning and welcome Fresno State students. We are happy that you've joined us today for Student Forum with Interim President Saul Jimenez Sandoval and ASI President Elizabeth Roca Zuniga. I am Brian Barrett, a professor in Deaf Studies and the director for our Center for Faculty Excellence, and I will help moderate the questions and answer sessions this morning as part of the forum. Drs. Jimenez Sandoval and Ms. Zuniga are happy to answer your questions, but first let me review how you can participate. For this event, all audience members are on mute. However, we do encourage you to submit your questions via the Q&A button. So type your questions there, and I will do my best to read aloud as many as time permits. So students, please go ahead and submit the questions so we can begin. We also have Director of Athletics, Terry Toomey, on standby in the event any of you have questions about athletics. And now it's my pleasure to turn it over to our President, Jimenez Sandoval, for some opening remarks.
Thank you, Brian, and it's great to see everyone today. I know you're out there listening. It's great to connect with you. Like you, I also grew up in the Valley, and like you, I also sought higher education in order to improve my life and that of my family. So I understand where you're coming from, and I also understand the needs of today's students because I taught here for 15 years at Fresno State. A little bit about me, I was a professor here for 15 years. I grew up in Fowler, just south of here, just south of Fresno. And then after that, I was the Dean of Arts and Humanities. And then after that, I was the provost. And then I was tapped to be the interim president at Fresno State. I will be the interim president for 6 to 12 months, depending on how long the search for the new president takes. And during this time, I have 5 very specific areas that I really want to focus on. I want to repopulate the campus safely so that we can all return to campus and enjoy our campus and enjoy each other's company and interact with each other, with our professors and with our clubs and organizations. I want to increase the 4-year grad rate that we have by targeting 5 specific areas that are specifically challenging to you, the students. It's mathematics, it's chemistry, it's also political science, it's writing, and it's some of the social science classes as well. I want to scaffold stronger intentional advising and also stronger tutoring in these 5 key areas. I know that this works because I also, as a freshman, had to go through that. And with the tutoring that I received, I was able to be successful that first year. I also want to grow partnerships with our industry partners, internships specifically, and project-based learning opportunities. And I want to elevate the brand of Fresno State. I want us to be proud of who we are, proud to belong to this Fresno State of ours, to this region that is so productive. It's the most productive region in the world. We provide just so much to the rest of the world. We need to be proud of who we are as Bulldogs. And then the 5th part then will be really to focus on a campaign that showcases our graduate school. Graduate school is graduate education at Fresno State is really important. The degrees that we have here at Fresno State make you the leader in your field. We have degrees in nursing, in public policy, degrees in education, degrees in kinesiology, everything in between. And this is really what I want to highlight today, that the more you get educated right now during this pandemic, the stronger you'll be. Once we pick up the economy, you'll be able to go back with an armed Fresno State degree and be really creative and very successful as well. So with that, I'm glad to also present our ASI president, your ASI president, Elizabeth Rocha Zuniga, for some open remarks.
Thank you so much, Saul, and thank you all for being here and for participating in this forum. I am very excited to hear from you and to find solutions as your student body president to any and all of your concerns. And I think with that, Brian, I believe we are ready to answer some questions.
Fantastic. We'll go ahead and start. The first question has to do with military absences. And the question is, why would those not be excused through the university when they're short-term military absences?
That's a good question, Brian. And if we could have the student reach out to one of the advisors, and if that's not working out, have the student reach out specifically to the Veterans Program. The Veterans Program is very active at Fresno State. We're actually the leader in veteran education at Fresno State. And I would encourage our students to reach out to the Veterans Program, which is housed here at Fresno State within the Division of Continuing and Global Education. But just look up Veterans Program at Fresno State, Google it within our website, and then you'll get the contact information with that. If it does not work, then absolutely you have every right to reach out to me. I'm very available on email, so I'll be able to help out that way as well and facilitate the conversation. Thanks for that.
Additionally, I know that we do have a senator for veteran affairs, so if you feel more comfortable reaching out to a student representative, please do so. You can find the contact information on the ASI website.
Do you know the name, President Zuni?
Yes. His name is Sam Smith, and I'm sure he will be more than glad to help you with your concerns.
I would just add as well that there is the president's feedback page. So if you just Google Fresno State President's Office and feedback, a page comes up where you can input your information. It goes directly to the president's cabinet. So it reaches a wide number of administrators and leaders on our campus. All right, the next question has to do with fall 21 courses. So are they going to return face-to-face? And if they do, will there also be an online version for each in-person class in the event that people perhaps are unable to return to campus because they may be themselves or their family immune compromised?
We are doing our best to plan for fall 2021 right now. And by that, I say the following. Our return to campus is contingent on various factors. Number one is vaccine availability. The more we get vaccinated at Fresno State, our community gets vaccinated at Fresno State, the better off we'll be, and then the better off we'll be able to return to campus. The vaccine is not required because it was approved on an emergency basis, but we are encouraging everyone to get a vaccine at this point so that we can all be together and not have to worry about transmission. So that's one part. The other part is that for the repopulation of campus, we are right now planning to return to campus, but with the guidance of Sacramento, our governor on the one hand, and then on the other hand, also with the guidance from the CSU. So these sort of like three layers are sort of influencing our repopulation of the campus. Our intention, though, is to return to campus if everything aligns appropriately. Now, to the second part of the question, will we have every single class available through the virtual modality that is being taught at Fresno State face-to-face? That depends. It depends on the course that we're talking about. If it's a specific class that requires face-to-face, we will not be able to accommodate in some cases. In other cases, we might, but in some cases, we might not be able to do that. Right now, we have face-to-face classes at Fresno State because the accrediting bodies or the accreditation process requires us to have these classes face-to-face. And in this case, they have to be taught face-to-face. The other part would be if it's a discipline-specific element that we have to teach face-to-face, then in that case, we can try to work with the student as much as possible. But sometimes it will be that we will just have to be face-to-face as well. But we will do everything we can to accommodate the needs of our students moving forward for fall 2021.
An additional comment from a student is that one of the reasons that some students prefer online courses is obviously because of that flexibility, working multiple jobs, not needing to necessarily find parking or pay for parking, and then also travel time arrangements, et cetera. So I believe that flexibility that you spoke to, President Jimenez Sandoval, is critical, also while understanding the need for our accreditation and our department and content-specific courses.
Yeah, we'll do our best for sure.
All right, the next question has to do with commencement. So First of all, I'd like to say thank you for allowing me to be here. This student, this individual is asking what plans there might be or positive news there might be regarding commencement ceremonies for this spring and possibly even next spring.
Yeah, and for commencement, again, we are bound by the directives that we receive from our governor, the directives that we receive from the CSU, and also the directives that we receive from the county, our public health officials in the county. So these three elements are all influencing how much we can gather together on campus and up to what extent can we gather on campus. I know that the deans right now are working very closely with your president, ASI President Elizabeth Rocha Zuniga. And I also know that the deans and Dr. Kuhn, Dr. Carolyn Kuhn, the Dean of Students, and also the Interim Vice President for Student Affairs, is working very closely to see how can we celebrate our students graduating in the spring. I want to say that I want to celebrate with you, but I think the pandemic has caused such constraints in getting together that it might not happen that we will be together in person. There are just too many elements working against us for a celebration that brings together thousands of people at the same time. We will, of course, be constantly communicating again with Sacramento, communicating as well with Long Beach, with our CSU Chancellor's Office, and then also with our public health officials in the county in order to determine the next steps. We should know, though, what will happen by February, March. Well, we're in February already, towards the end of February, beginning of March, as far as the graduation is concerned, though. But I want to say that my impression right now is that we will most likely not gather in person to have face-to-face graduations. Elizabeth,
And
do you
yeah,
want to say anything to that?
I do actually. As a graduating senior myself, this has been an issue that has sparked so many conversations in ASI. We are trying to figure out ways to make sure that you are being celebrated. This is a very big achievement for yourself and for your families. And so ASI is currently looking into ways that we can support you and better celebrate you this semester. And there will be some interesting news coming out soon from ASI regarding graduation. But like you, I am also still curious to know how this year's commencement will look like. And like Saul said, we're working closely together to see what we do accomplish for you this year, because we do want to celebrate you and make sure that you feel as if you are still a part of Fresno State once you graduate. And so if there's any other communication that we have from our administrators, ASI will make sure to echo that to you. And just want you to know that your ASI representatives are very in tune with this conversation and are continuing this conversation and are looking for ways to celebrate you.
Yeah, that I want to echo that. That's really the core of what my message to you is as well. We will celebrate you one way or the other because I truly believe that it's very meaningful that you'll graduate with a Fresno State degree and you'll be armed to really uplift your life and that of your families and communities. So absolutely.
Yeah, and if I can also just briefly add, I know that there's a student involvement and focus groups that may be coming up again where you can also express what you would like to see this spring commencement. And so please participate in that. ASI will be a big advocate for any type of celebration for you. And so I appreciate the question and I appreciate you being vulnerable about graduation. That's a very, very important part of going into undergraduate college.
Thank you so much. The next question is in regards to COVID-19. Outside of the county or state health mandates, is the campus likely to adopt mask mandates or vaccine mandates for students returning to campus?
That's a good question. We cannot adopt a vaccine mandate at this point because the vaccine has been approved on an emergency basis. And an emergency basis vaccine cannot be mandated or required of the population. So that answers that question. As far as the mask is concerned, I can see the possibility, the strong possibility that we will still have to wear masks even in the fall if we repopulate the campus in a significant way. I don't think that the masks are going to go away for some time in the near future. And this is based on feedback that I'm receiving both from our county health officials, as well as guidance from the governor's office and from the CSU as well. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, President Jimenez Sandoval. Are there any updates if there will be any COVID-19 grants for spring of 2021 for Fresno State students?
These are the emergency grants that were given to the students last time through the money that we received from the federal government, and there is a for sure possibility that money will be distributed again to our students moving forward. Last year, we distributed $16.4 million to our students, and this year it is all our goal to match that and increase the amount moving forward for fall 2021. So absolutely, there is a large for sure possibility that this will happen. We want our students to know that we are here to support them, and that this emergency grant aid will be forthcoming as well. And the instructions for how to apply and everything else as well will be forthcoming in the coming weeks.
Thank you. And at this time, I'd just like to encourage our students who are here to please go ahead and use the Q&A button to submit any questions you might have for either of our presidents. With that, the next question is for our athletic director, Mr. Toomey. Will there be any ticket price raises for our sporting events in 2021 to alleviate the lost revenues at Fresno State?
Very good question, and thank you so much for allowing me to be here today. I think I can speak for both our presidents in the fact that as it relates to students, I don't think we'd have any raising in ticket prices as it relates to our students and their participation. Our goal is for them to have the resource of athletics to represent them, so therefore that would not be the case as it relates to students. However, we are very optimistic. I think our first question is the optimism that we have for sporting events and having attendees in a safe manner here on our campus, and our ability to do that in the proper manner. So that's probably our biggest question. But as for our losses that we've had in athletics, we are looking at maximizing all revenue streams in order to try to meet that demand, as well as, of course, reduce our expenses. But as it relates to our students, we want as many students as we can at Bulldog Stadium, so therefore we don't want the tickets to be a barrier for our students to attend.
If I can also add, ASI also has giveaways for our athletic events, and so check that out next semester, hopefully if we go back to campus and are able to enjoy these events.
Thank you so much. Very helpful. On the note of graduation, a follow-up question. Last semester, immediate past President Castro coordinated a drive-through event to welcome incoming Bulldogs. So not only speaking to graduation, but what's the plan for fall and an option for a drive-through event to celebrate commencement and or to celebrate the incoming fall students if we are still not all face-to-face?
Yeah, and I do remember that drive-through actually. It was a lot of fun. So those type of events are still on the table. We again are exploring the possibility of how to celebrate our students. And then again, it's difficult for me to say this will happen exactly because COVID disallows the possibility to really plan ahead. But like you, I want to see you. I want to see you and your families. I want to see you there celebrating, graduating, and I want to feel the energy of the St. Mars Center with 15,000 people there cheering you on as you walk across that stage, celebrating you. We'll do everything we can to have a celebration and to celebrate you one way or the other. But understand as well that we are also have to abide by, again, the governor, the CSU, and also our local health officials. But I do want to celebrate our students in a meaningful, in a personable way that really showcases their journey and that really showcases the support that they've received from professors, their family, their fellow students, and to say, we've made it. We're fully fledged Bulldogs now. So yeah, more on that will come ahead.
Can either of you speak to the status of the Resnick Student Union? What features or services can we expect in the building, and how is it progressing in terms of the timeline?
Right now, the Resnick Student Union has been slightly delayed due to a plan check approval by the State Fire Marshal's office. Our facilities management team is working closely together with the McCarthy team that is in charge of building the union. But we planned then to resume construction and activities pretty soon. And then our completion date should be in 2022. And as far as the services are concerned, it's loaded with really good stuff. It's study spaces for students. It's pods where you can be on your own. It's hubs where we can gather together, cafe. It's just a really welcoming, warm. The colors inside are this nice wooden panels that really make you feel at home. It's very ecological as well. It takes in the sun in a certain way so that it's not warmed too strongly. So it's a beautiful building that's really going to bring us all together and celebrate who we are. President Rocha Zuniga, do you have anything to add to that?
Yes, I am not sure if the floor plan is actually accessible to students now on our website, but it is a very beautiful building. And like Saul said, it has been delayed, but right now we're hoping that it can be finally constructed soon. And I know that there'll be more spaces, more hubs, more spaces for you to get involved, more access to resources and organizations that may spark your interest. I know that there's also going to be more food options, and so that's super exciting for students. I know we care deeply about our health and our great food options on campus, and so it's going to be a conversation moving forward. And I know that a concern that I have heard from students about the union is about the student fees, but just so you all know and it's clear, you will not be charged a fee until the building is finally constructed and you are allowed to enter and take advantage of it. So
Thank you so much. The next question from a student is, would DACA or AB 540 students qualify for the COVID-19 grant that was recently discussed?
Not specifically for that, but like we did in the past, we found other sources of funding to help our DACA students. So it's not specific to the grant that we received, but like in the past, like we've done in the past, we are focused on finding other revenues to help our DACA students move forward with this situation. Yeah, thank you.
and if I can add, or so if I can ask you a question, I think that DACA students are able to apply for the Good Samaritan Fund and that we have on campus. So if you can just maybe elaborate on that for them, that way they know that we are here to support them and we are also looking into other ways that we can help.
Yeah, that's one of the sources, but in the past, we used other sources as well to supplement the need that we saw in our DACA students. So that's very important for us at Fresno State.
On our campus, what is being done for Black, Indigenous, and people of color, as well as the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender students?
A lot is being done right now. We are a very inclusive community here at Fresno State. We have very clear goals and standards of how we speak to each other, how we embrace each other and our differences, and how we come together as a community as well. I know for a fact that we have a very robust programming coming out of our cross-cultural and gender center. I know that it's engaged our students tremendously through virtual activities and events. And I know that there's a place for everyone at Fresno State. We are a Hispanic serving university, and we're also an NAPC serving university. We're both. And this I take to heart very profoundly, because I see Fresno as the 9th most diverse city in the country. I mean, isn't that incredible? When I started to think about that, it just, it really makes me proud. I love going out and seeing how it is that our community is this multicultural, strong community that really comes together. And I hear you. If there are ideas that you have about how we can come together, let's hear about them. Let's engage with the Cross Culture and Gender Center. Let's engage with ASI. ASI right now, it's a diverse group of individuals who have been elected from across the campus, who really get together to try to address the issues in a holistic manner of our students, and to really, create that sense of community. We belong at Fresno State. We all do. Elizabeth, would you like to address that as well?
Yes, I know that there has been a lot of discussion about ethnic studies, and this bill, AB 1460, will be able to help cultural competency for all CSUs, and specifically our institution. And so this has been an ongoing conversation to hopefully create that culture of acceptance and inclusion for all of us to be able to stand as one. Additionally, I know that there has been a lot of issues that have arisen, but if you yourself want to see more, want to see change on campus or improvement, please run for the student body government. And we need more students like yourself to be in these spaces to vocalize for your community. And so I encourage you to get involved and to look into organizations that include folks that look like you, that are like you, to be feeling as if you do belong on campus, because that is a very, very important part of being in higher education.
Thanks for that.
Thank you both. And just a point of clarification, ANAPZ stands for the Asian American Native American Pacific Islander. So a very great distinction and honor for our campus to serve those students, as well as our Hispanic students and all of our students of color. The next question is specific for you, Elizabeth. What involvement opportunities are there this semester and for fall 21? And you mentioned one, which would be get engaged and become an ASI student representative.
Yes, so right now we are accepting your petitions to run for student body government. You can check out our website, has been updated to include more information on this, but please run for student body government. You will be able to impact fall 2021 until spring 2020. And if you decide to run again, onward with that. Additionally, ASI is currently looking for more students to participate in our university-wide committees and our ASI committees for you to be involved and again to be in these spaces. Additionally, I know that there are a lot of clubs on campus, I believe over 300 clubs on campus that you can look into by going onto our Engage page to see what organizations are out there that you would like to participate in. I know there are some meetings going on. I know it has been hard. That exposure has been difficult, but please look into Engage and find an organization that is best fit for what you want to see and want to be a part of. So please stay involved. I know it has been hard. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I am here to help you to find a place for you on campus as well. So please check out student involvement website, Engage website, and ASI website to see what best sparks your interest.
Yeah, well, I would add to that I've put together a task force for mental health. And this task force includes our partners with ASI, a lot of student representatives as well. It includes faculty, and it also includes the staff. But it's really meant to not address issues exclusively meant of the mental health arena, although we also do have those. But really, how to engage with each other, how to just have fun events and activities where you can just participate. Where you can, what we miss more than anything, what you're missing is what I'm missing as well. I like to see people and I like to interact with people and have informal conversations. So we plan to roll out more of those activities as the semester unrolls as well. So more on
Yes.
that on the future.
If I can just briefly add, sorry, Brian, we are also looking into more students to participate in our mental health task force. So please check that out on our website as well and apply. That way we can get more students to speak about what we are hoping to address as we have been entering the pandemic. And so we're trying to figure out more ways to be more inclusive and more ways to address your mental health and your mental well-being. Like Saul said, is a very important part of human interaction. And so we're trying to figure out ways to do that. And so please join the mental health task force as well.
Great information. Thank you both. We appreciate that. The next question focuses on tuition. So why is tuition staying the same during virtual learning? Students aren't readily accessing on-campus resources, and students are also concerned that tuition cost is overpriced for Zoom courses.
Yeah, that's a great question. I want to start off by saying that Fresno State has the lowest fees in the entire 23 CSU campus system. We have the lowest fees at Fresno State. We have the greatest value for the greatest education within the CSU and within California. And I truly believe that. Our fields are recognized widely. We have incredible professors who are dedicated. We have incredible faculty, and we have incredible staff who are also here to help. We have reduced some of the fees for specific areas that we are not providing, but we also have to maintain the university on the one hand, and then on the other hand, I get it, you're not on campus, but at the same time, we are effectively conducting class. We are effectively meeting together. We are working towards that degree that you want, so that you are empowered later on to really craft a career of your own and really become, that professional that you're meant to be. So that's really where I'll leave that. I understand. I clearly understand that these are difficult times. We are trying our best to help you with the most possible amount in the emergency COVID grants that we spoke about previously. We gave $64 million last year. We're going to give significantly more this year as well, over $20 million for sure to our students. And that's because we know what you're going through. We understand what the pressures are. At the same time, we also have to understand that we also have a university to run. So we're trying our best to accommodate, and we're trying our best to meet your needs, while at the same time maintaining the excellence that really showcases what Fresno State is all about.
Yeah, thank you, Saul. And additionally, I know that has been a very important question that I have seen all over Fresno State book and trade page, all over social media. And so I completely understand your concerns. And like Saul said, there has been some rearrangements with some things that we do pay. And I know that this conversation has always been one. And so ASI is also currently looking into ways to create a crash course where you can understand where every single dollar goes to. And so we're working on that for you to hopefully answer any other questions aside the pandemic in the future when we do go back to campus. That way you know exactly where your money is going toward. We're very big on transparency. And so we hope that also helps you answer any other questions.
Thank you both for those comments. The next question focuses on the library and speaks to the possibility of it reopening for studying, even though there would possibly be a limited capacity or social distancing. It's a challenge to find a quiet area to learn and study when there are home and life distractions.
Yeah, that's a big issue, and I know that that's a big element that our students need. I have been in close contact with our public health officials in the county, and also with your ASI president, Elizabeth, specifically about this issue. I think the one issue that would be the most pressing would be space. Space is truly at a premium right now, because we cannot gather together, and we cannot find that quiet space where where you can concentrate and focus on that work for chemistry or that essay that you need to write. I fully get that. When I was a student, I needed that quiet space as well in order to focus, in order to develop my best thoughts as well. I would even have like, special pens for like special assignments to sort of like, psych me out. Um, but we'll be working with that with the county, and if we have the availability to open up some spaces in the library, we'll let you know as well. We spoke about it in the past, and then of course the county was closed, and a new search came about, but that is still in the process of being planned out for you. It'll be limited, but we can see about it. Right now, the plans are to open it in a with a first come first serve, but with the ability to have an appointment, because we cannot just simply open it and then have lines of people, out the door, or have too many cars around or whatever else. But more details on that as they become available as well. I know that's really important for midterms and specifically for finals, but also on the everyday basis, to keep up with your work with your classes.
Yeah, so you answered that very, very well. I just wanted to just echo one thing, that I know that we're rolling out the fall semester, but I want to make sure that you all know that we're not forgetting about this academic year, and that we're trying our best to not just give you a limited experience this year. And so hopefully we're able to figure something out, and hopefully it can be a space for you to come to the campus and feel a sense of belonging.
Yeah, I want to say something else about the CARES Act funding too. I mentioned the fall. We will be awarding in spring 2021. So it's actually this semester that the awards will go out. So just so you know, and they will be upcoming pretty soon, within the next month and a half or so.
Fantastic. I have a few questions that I'd like to try and just go over really quickly, and perhaps we could identify a resource or point people in the right direction. So the first one is there a tour on a video campus tour for Fresno State? This is my first year, and I don't know where many of the places are.
That's a great question. And I know that our team has been working on capturing these important spaces that are truly meaningful to our Fresno State community. I do know that, and maybe I can work with your ASI president to let you know where these videos are hosted. I know that Vice President Leon worked on this in the past, and I've actually seen some of the videos myself. So we'll be sure to send out a link and a message specifically with space. Space is really important, because space allows us the opportunity to become someone, and also to identify with each other. So I'll be sure to send out a message specifically about special places on campus that showcase these video. I think they're 360 videos from what I remember. So you'll be able to actually explore the space and see what the campus looks like. Our campus is truly beautiful, and I get that all the time, when visitors come to campus and say, wow, I never realized, that this was such a beautiful campus. It looks like an arboretum, and effectively we are classified as an arboretum. So it's a place with a lot of nature and a lot of beautiful spaces as well. So sorry, that was a little bit too long, but yes, we will make it possible for all of you.
Wonderful. Thank you, President Amanda Sandoval. Next quick question. Would you happen to know if the Save Mart Center will provide a refund for concert tickets that were purchased last year?
I do not happen to know that question, but perhaps we can also, actually, I'm getting immediate feedback. Yes, they will refund for tickets that were not, yeah, if we didn't have the concert, we didn't have the concert. So they will refund.
Excellent. Next quick question. Will graduating students be able to purchase Fresno State regalia this spring?
That's a great question as well. I know that our library is open. I believe the library is open, and the Kendall bookstore is open. Sorry, not the library. Library in Spanish is the same. That's why I get tripped up sometimes. Still, after so many years, this happens to me.
Yeah, the bookstore's open, so I think you can
Yeah.
definitely go in there and get your graduating attire.
Yeah, the Kendall bookstore is open, so absolutely, you can do that. Yeah, thanks for the save, Elizabeth.
I got you.
All right, and then a couple quick comments, and then we'll move on to a more in-depth question. One of the comments is that perhaps our campus needs to focus more on funding student retention programs, services, and not another USU. Perhaps that doesn't have as immediate benefits as supporting our students.
I'll speak to that, Dr. Barrett. Our campus has incredible resources. And I think what we need to know is that we need to know where these resources are. So one of our main responsibilities, one of my main goals coming up, it's really the best resource that we can have are two resources. Number one is advising, academic advising. I remember being a freshman and being at UC Irvine and feeling that the place, speaking of place, right, was just too big for me. I was coming from Fowler. It had less than 300 students, the high school back then. And I remember as soon as my advisor gave me a plan, he told me, take these classes, and after these classes, you'll have a degree. I said, wait, that's all I need to do? I just take these classes and that's it? So that's sort of like revelatory, right? Like the skies part, and then you see the future right there onto itself. So advising is really important. But number two, tutoring is important as well. If you're struggling with a class, there are tutors available to you so that you can pass that one class. Don't ever think that you're not able to pass a class because you're not good enough or you're not smart enough or whatever else. That's a fallacy. You're incredibly gifted, you're incredibly talented, and you have a rich history behind you that really pushes you forth and makes you unique. So just based on this, there's always help for you at Fresno State. So these resources are there because if you do well successfully in a class, in your classes, then you belong, right? And then the other part of it, of course, is you become engaged, like your ASI president said, in clubs and organizations, and then you doubly belong. So you belong academically, you belong through organizations, you belong by going through these to a football game or a basketball game or a volleyball game, because then you see, what our students in our university is all about, competing against other universities. And it's great, to come together as a community like that. That's why athletics is such a core of the mission at Fresno State as well. So there are a lot of resources at Fresno State. I'd like to just, it is our responsibility to let you know what these are, and we'll do better by letting you know where these resources are. Elizabeth, do you want to speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, so sorry. I was answering a question on here. Yes, the resources that we do have on campus are very, very important. And I know that ASI is trying our best to make those more accessible to you. And I know last ASI Senate meeting, we were able to have a very great conversation about what resources are available through the Student Health and Counseling Center. And so check out that recorded live session on our Facebook. You can find more information on there about what other resources are currently available for in-person and through virtually. I hope that helps. I was just kind of looking at this other question that was very, very important too.
No, yeah, it does help. Thanks, Elizabeth. And also the Grad Fest with caps and gowns boxes will be promoted and available through the bookstore as well, through our Kindle bookstore, so that you know.
I want to acknowledge and thank both Elizabeth and our president for multitasking as they're answering chats and reading either text messages. I also want to acknowledge and thank Vice President Astone, who is also providing answers in the back end, and acknowledge and thank her for her ongoing leadership on our campus to ensure our safety and success. The next question is for our president, which has to do with the agricultural programs. So given that our university has new leadership, how will you specifically advocate and advance our agricultural programs as they are critical foundation of Fresno State?
So that's a great question. And, I gave a little bit of my background at the beginning of this forum. I grew up in a farm. I know where food comes from, and I know what it takes to grow food. Like I truly know that. I know that in order to have a successful crop, you have to be intentional and you have to come collectively, and you just have to be at it every single day. It's not a matter of technology, or it's not a matter of this or that or whatever else. It's a matter of an alarm clock. I have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning in order to go out there to the vines and take care of them, or I have to make sure that the lines of the vines are not torn, or make sure that the crop is coming along. I mean, I know about that, specifically. I also know that from the time I grew up, in the farm in 1980 to now, a lot of advances have taken place. I took a tour of our farm just recently, and I was just blown away by how much we've come in this amount of time. So I also know that as well. And I know that at the end of the day, Fresno State is Fresno State because of ag. We are a unique university because of these core collection of special programs that we have at Fresno State. One of them is ag. Of course, the other one is athletics. We are known for that as well. That's part of our brand. The other one is engineering. The other one is, the nursing, the health sciences that we have here. The other one is education. We produce some of the best teachers in California, and we produce the most teachers in California as well. So having said that, going back to ag, I know the value of the agriculture. I do. And I really want to partner up with industry. I want to partner up with our local farmers to see how it is that we can further empower and further move forward with research in the field. How is it that we move forward with showcasing the power and strength of Fresno State? I want to be known as a powerhouse of agriculture in the Jordan College, like throughout. That's it, period. People think of Fresno State, they think of the Jordan College. People think of Fresno State, they think of athletics. I want to be known for that. So I'm really focused very heavily on our ag programs because I know that that's what makes us unique at Fresno State.
Yes, if I can also just briefly add, I know ASI definitely values agriculture. We have an amazing senator, Anthony Camacho from the JCAS College, who does a great job of representing you. And next year and the years to come, you'll be able to join a leadership council for JCAS if you're more interested in this conversation and seeing what the university is doing in the years to come. So this is very, very important for our students and, again, our university. We value ag.
To that point, another related question is about the secured garden, which is part of the Kremen School of Education next to the lab school. Is there any updates on that outdoor educational space and where it is in the process?
Yeah, I know that we are moving forward with that. We have supported that secret garden, and it'll be exciting. It's the funds have been raised, and more on that will come in the future. It's this holistic approach to how it is that we perceive gardening and how it is that we perceive agriculture, and how we bring kids on campus to tour the garden, to become aware of what it takes to grow food. It's a really neat program that will be pretty soon announced to the community as well.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Can you please describe any resources that have been made available to students to help keep the Bulldog Connection alive?
The Bulldog Connection alive. I'm going to defer to our ASI president to see if she knows about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think the question was like, what are we doing right now to create the Bulldog Connection or to have that Bulldog Connection? I know there has been some momentum and student involvement to have some events that are virtual, but are able to create that space where you're able to talk to other Bulldogs as well, and to have that connection through student involvement, which is a big part of our university that gets student involved. I know that ASI is also currently working on events to host for you. That way you can also come join us in conversations and also be a part of conversations with our leaders. And so we are trying to figure out more ways to have and to create that Bulldog connection. So we're still trying to figure out more of the ways to connect with you all. But this is a conversation that has been ongoing. And I know that there are some parts of campus that have been able to have a great events, like student involvement and others. I hope that answers your question.
And I would just add quickly that Vice President Kuhn, Dr. Kuhn, has indicated there are a number of ways for student involvement to create that Bulldog connection. And you can call 278-2741. Again, 278-2741. And perhaps one of my colleagues can put that into the chat that could be shared out. Additionally, in relation to that question, having been a Bulldog for most of my life as the son of a faculty member who was here for 40 years, this question is for Mr. Toomey, and that is, are there any giveaways planned to get new or current students some limited merchandise so that we can increase that Bulldog spirit?
You know, that's a great question. And there's no better signal or sign of Bulldog pride than having something that is totally unique for students. And so what we're looking to do is possibly to partner with one of our corporate partners in order to try to see if there can be some Bulldog swag that we give out to students, either probably at the beginning of our fall campaign as we move forward, or if there's a way in which we could do it at the end of this semester, we would. It's so difficult right now with the pandemic in order to distribute things safely. And that's the difficulty we have a lot of times as it relates to things of this nature. But we definitely want to look forward to partnering with a corporate partner in order to do that and make sure that all students, student athletes, all students, our friends at all the different colleges feel that we're one big community, and that's what's most important at this university.
Thank you so much, Terry. We appreciate that and your ongoing leadership for athletics. This next question focuses for both of our presidents on the University Police Department. So the comment is we need to demilitarize the University Police Department, or UPD, and there's no reason to have armed police officers on campus. They don't prevent crimes. They essentially are just showing up after the fact. And a majority of their duty is to give out parking tickets, but this doesn't seem like it's really useful at this point in time. So are there ways that we can reallocate funds to other more important areas of our campus at this time?
Yeah, I'll start off by saying that our police do much more than give tickets. Our police officers keep our campus safe. They're not a repressive force, but they're a force of public service to all of us. They're here 24/7. They don't take Christmas off. They don't take New Year's off. They're community policing at all times, because we need our campus to be safe. We need the campus to feel safe as well for our community. We also see our police as one that is not drawing on negativity, but on the other hand, that is here to actually help our community move forward together. So I appreciate the sentiment. In this case, the Fresno State Police force is a force of good, and is a force of community service as well, that intends and is focused on truly serving and supporting our campus community. And they also understand the unique programs and events that we have on campus as well. If we did not have a police force, we could not negotiate everything that happens when we have major events on campus, such as a football game, or any other type of event. So I do appreciate the sentiment. We are focused right now on student success more than anything. And that's really our plan. But safety is also part of student success in the overall outlook of what a university is about.
All right.
Right,
And
I
with just
Dr. Barry,
please.
just really quickly, I wanted to tell our attendees that I posted the tours, the virtual tours that was asked. It should be on your chat. The link is on the chat.
Thank you so much for doing that. We're getting close to wrapping up. And so what I'd like to do is ask each of you, we'll start with Mr. Toomey, and then Elizabeth, and then to our president, to share your optimism for not only this semester, but moving forward in the 2021 calendar year. Mr. Toomey?
Thank you so much. And this has been a real honor to be able to, as it is every day, to serve our students and serve this great university and work with two great leaders like our presidents here. It's a career goal to have an administration or a group of people who really are looking to uplift the community. And that's what I feel as though our leadership does and does so well. And of course, as we go through this pandemic, I see the future for us being bright. I see the 21-22 campaign looking wonderful as we repopulate our campuses in the right way and really look to always continue to invest in what's most important, and that's the academic pursuits of all of our students as they go off and change the trajectory of their lives. And athletics is so happy to be a part of that experience to make you feel more and more proud of this university. So optimism ahead, and I cannot wait to see our campus back in full force and continue to have that good feeling that we have here. So thank you so much today for the opportunity.
Thank you for expressing that to me. I also think there's so many things to be optimistic about. There's a lot of things that I know that ASI decided to roll out this semester, and more things that will hopefully create a much more inclusive campus for every single Bulldog, current, future, and former. And so we are currently looking for more ways to have that space for all of you. And I just look forward to getting past COVID and getting back to what can be the new normal, but getting back to a space where we can be in human interaction much more in a better way, in a better capacity. And so I look forward to that. That's my biggest optimism. I don't know if that sounds correct. So I look forward to that. And I honestly just look forward to continuing my service to all of you. And I am here as a resource and as a vehicle for yourself and for any of your concerns. So please reach out to me. I know an hour is not enough time to answer any and all of your questions. So please reach out to me. I will put my email on the chat box. And again, ASI is here to serve you. So please reach out to us. That is the most optimistic thing that we are here to do, which is serve you. And so we look forward to a very, very fruitful semester and a great year.
Thank you for that. It's great to be with you. It's great to be in this position where I can help you achieve your goals. Again, I'll end with what I started, right? Like you, I grew up here in the Valley. And like you, I got an education. And like you, I want to make our community better and stronger through using my gifts and through using my talents to further the greater good. I want to tell you that I appreciate everything you do. And this is what fuels me. What fuels me is the idea of you graduating with a Fresno State degree, and then you becoming a professional and a leader in our communities that's really going to make a difference. That's what fuels me. And I've seen that because I remember teaching and having, students come into the classroom completely shy. And then by the time they were seniors, you were going to be a tiger ready to take on the world. So with that, go Bulldogs.